security is one thing. Sadly, we always have to upskill, upgrade, and be alert in everything. Whether you take time to take courses to learn, whether you watch content based on security, whether you listen to security analysts, the thing is, security is one thing at this time and age we cannot take lightly. Whether there's digital security or there's physical security, and even to a point spiritual, because many people are becoming each one of us is a target of something. When we walk to a mall, we are a target. When you go to a petrol station, we are a target. When we are buying an item in a supermarket, you're a target. When you're buying an item in a wholesale, you're a target. When you go to the market, you're a target. When you take a public service vehicle, you're a target. Where there's a train, where there's a plane, you're a target. Even in your own home, you're a target. And the thing is, you really never know you're a target of who. Some of the targets are so unpredictable. They're not people would think. For example, there's one that's quite common, and I always warn people because it nearly happened to me, but it happened to other people. So here we do money transaction. Here we call it M-Pesa. Just pretty much just money transfer. And so you'll see a 5-year-old child walking. So you are transacting money, either you're withdrawing or depositing. A 5-year-old will walk into that place, not doing much, just like a child playing. But that child she's doing or he's doing is scouting. It doesn't take less than a minute. By the time the child walks out, guys, young guys with guns will get in. And trust to me, if you blink twice, say goodbye to this world. These guys don't joke around. And I remember I lived in an area where, but this was quite prevalent, very prevalent. Actually, is the one thing that has made me, anytime I want to do any transaction, I will never do a transaction in an open place, never. Because I always say, you always make sure you can check your back. You're in a position whereby you can move left and right. But if your back, you can't see through at your back, you're as good as cooked. And sadly, even some of the the attendants who are helping, sadly, some of them are in it. And I've seen people, they've witnessed some people have been robbed. There are cases where people have been shot. There was one I recall, 5 years, I believe. He was big-bodied and he tried to fire them off, but sadly he was able to overpower them, but kind of overpower bullet. They struck him. When he fought them down, but he didn't have enough, he couldn't pin them as he wanted. And sadly, the one who was able to get out shot him. He was incapacitated. He was in the ICU, I recall. I'm not sure what happened to him after that. Those are very issues that are going on in the country. And if you're not careful and cautious, you can be a victim. I remember I went to a country and we're having a good time and everything. And then I noticed, as we're having a good time, I noticed a group of guys and ladies. And in this, something I noticed in this country, and I remember I warned my fellow people near them, like, guys, when you're here, you don't get drunk. You drink what you can move. So what they do, you are the young ladies, and they have their guys, the backup. And I've seen even this issue being raised by other content creators and even entertainers who go themselves in the same country, same thing happened to them. So you are enjoying yourself as a dude or even as a chick. And then a nice chick comes up, says hi, nice vibes. She may buy a drink, you may buy them the drink. You know, it's a good time. You drunk, you don't even know what's going on to an extent. Let your guard down. As you're having drinks, they can either lace it or may not even lace it. Then let's say you go to the bathroom. You go to the bathroom with her. Maybe she said, let's just go to the bathroom. Let's say you say you want to go to the bathroom. They're like, yeah, you can go. Once you go to the bathroom, the guys are waiting for you. And because it's a deal between the ladies, the guys, and the bouncers, you're whisked out of there. Whatever happens to you will happen. I saw it, I've escaped it, and I've saved some of my friends. We can't save everyone, but it's as bad as it is. This, I was in a particular country. I don't say names here. But that's at the alert. I recall my own mom. She was in a public transport. and a young lady sitting next to her. She was as if she's exiting. So she passed her arm like this. So as she's passing her arm like this, on this other end, the perfume was there. My mom sadly was able to inhale it. She collapsed. If it wasn't by the love and the hospitality and of the conductor and the passengers, my mom would not be here. So they rushed her to hospital. She was there for 3 nights. My sister met two older women who would be like a mother figure to her. They were speaking Bible related. She didn't get no too close. And I'm not sure if she touched something they gave her or if it was the clothes, because there's some drug they put somewhere here. I've never understood how they do it. They don't get drugged, but when you inhale, or some they'll put a perfume here close to their chest. So you just inhale the perfume. My sister inhaled it. And I remember the warned her many years ago. So she was able to take my warning. And what she did, when you get drugged, you want to be where there are many, many public people. And as you are there, you'll have your sluggish, your tongue will be sluggish as you speak. There'll always be a good Samaritan. But again, it's only God's grace, because remember, the same people who are hunting you can also pretend to be with you. And in the time where we're living in, where when you need help, people just remove their phones and no one cares, you have to be that careful and keen. I remember my dad, he was walking and he was just walking. It was in a crowded place. And ever since as a kid, I was always told, never walk in a crowded place. It was just here in our central business district, and he was walking. And then all of a sudden, he found himself thrown in a county council car. He's there wondering what's going on. Before you know it, they want money. So I'm in a meeting, I receive a call from my dad. I'm wondering, hey, what's up? He's like, things are thick. I'm like, just give me the people. I talked to them. I was able to bail him out. From that day, he's never forgotten that experience. And the thing is, security is on. It's a sad thing, but it's just the way it is. You can never let your guard down. You walk into the supermarket. Sadly, if it's a person who has children, you become even an easier target, because kids, the way they are, the jumpy and all, it's easy for you to get quite distracted, because a child wants this, a child wants that, there's this one, there's that one, and you have bags and luggage, you become an easy target. Whether you are, you're going to the pump and you're pumping gas, you never know the car on the left or the car on the right. If they're also pumping, you never know if the pump attendants are in working with the crew. Let's say you go to an Airbnb. You never know your Airbnb person per se. We are relying on a technology here and entrusting that your safety. But what if the person who registered the Airbnb is not the physical person who owns the place? Think about it. So you might find yourself, yes, the person who you kind of believed would have been the owner, but the person you meet are two different people. So as you're in that Airbnb, how safe are you? How safe are you? How do you know that that particular place you've chosen as your Airbnb could be a place where people get traffic, where people disappear? What if they've already marked your one lady or one man or a couple and they are armed? What happens? Because remember, Airbnb, they have their keys. And we are seeing a trend whereby most of the people who own Airbnbs, for some weird reason, seem never to leave their Airbnbs. They'll give some weird type of excuses. And in others, they're even putting cameras. Now, you would think cameras is to save or to, security. But sadly, it's just used for nefarious things. And yeah, it's sad. And if you say, fine, let me take the motel or the hotel, it's not any different. It's between the lady at the counter, the guy at the counter, and the guys who are going to grab you. Or the maintenance person or the lady who's washing, the housekeeper. You never really know. So every day, stay alert, stay sharp. If you're traveling, understand the political, the social, and the economic, and even do research, understand the type of crimes that are in that country. Because as much as we wish and hope the world to be safe, look around you. Safety, security seems to be something of the past. So by the time you're seeking any assistance from any security agency, be the first one to have secured yourself. Stay sharp, stay alert. Don't, anybody who approaches you and wants to give you an item, I always say take 2 steps back. When I'm talking to children, I always tell them, when someone has stopped a car, make sure you stand very far and in a distance you can run. And that is something I will also tell you. Wherever it is, whoever stops a car, it doesn't matter, it's a couple. I know a mother and a daughter who saw 2 men who stopped, and they thought, okay, sadly that same morning they were done. Yes, they're unthinkable. So safety starts with you, safety starts with me. Be aware, don't be ignorant of your surrounding. Be safe out there.